We're back once again and looking ahead to more racing locally, and that starts on a Tuesday. We'll be at the Vaal for two occasions this week. That is on Tuesday and a Thursday, and we'll be on both occasions on the classic track, as there is a certain work going on the standside track. They have just scarified the track, so by the time they are ready, we should have a beautiful, beautiful track as per normal. I hope you're well wherever you are. Hope you made a bit of money. If not, well, Tuesday will be a chance to get involved once again. And of course, if you've got your Betway app, just go to your local dealership and you will be able to buy a voucher to top up your account and get involved in what is a very, very competitive card that comes through from the Vaal racecourse itself. 8 races on the program, so that'll mean straight into a bipod, but it is very, very competitive indeed. Do top up that account and you should be good to go. All right, we've got the man himself, Mr. Marie. Hit the post with the quartet in the... I actually thought you had caught it, but I didn't realize. I said, look, Chief, there's our man once again. Just very, very, very inexpensive outlay as well.
Yeah, we went the top two for first and second, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I shouldn't have missed it. So
yeah, but no, well done. I mean, it was a tough card, actually, generally.
Yeah, very tough. I find Cape Town extremely difficult.
Indeed. But
back at the Vaal?
Back at the Vaal, and leading up to, of course, the Giddies on Saturday. And it's a warm welcome to you, by the way.
Welcome to you too, and thank you for stepping in to assist.
Thank you very much.
Races aren't run on paper, but on paper I do believe Maverick Queen is going to prove very, very hard to beat. I'll tell you why. Because have a look at the Green Sapphire run.
Yes.
Green Sapphire won on that occasion. I know she's ranked at form, but Tipperary finished ahead of Up the Ante.
Yeah.
And then go back to the Kamati River run. Maverick Queen beat Tipperary.
Yeah.
So on a line through Tipperary, Maverick Queen should have the beating of Up the Ante. Maverick Queen's form line's been franked. Kamati River won over the weekend, and she cracks a draw, whereas Up the Ante is drawn out wide. Obviously, this 1200 is run around the bend. So I'm going to say that Maverick Queen on paper should prove very hard to beat.
Prove very hard to beat. And let's have a look at that bipod. It is Bank at a 7 by Bank at a 6, and then we are quite covered for the remainder of that 4 legs of the bipod. First leg of the bipod is an early start, 12:05. Don't miss out. Well, race number 2 at the Vaal on a Tuesday. We're recording on a Monday morning for a Tuesday afternoon racing. It is the www.tab4racing.com maiden plate, and they're going over ground at 2,000 meters. That'll see the start of the PA. Half an hour separates the first leg of the bipod and that place accumulator, which renders race 2 off at 12:35. If you missed out on the bipod or you've over-invested in that bipod, you can still top up. Once again, just get that blue voucher and you're good to go. Code in the pin, and that is on your Betway app, and within seconds, literally half a second, it is reflecting and you're up and running once again. PA worth getting involved in, as I say, some very competitive fields on Tuesday, and favoritism in race number 2 is with the 6 of Bad Medicine. That is Gavin Arena reunited with Bad Medicine, eroded sometime back as far as 25th of April last year. So that's been some time. But Bad Medicine, the furthest goes, has been getting better and better. 3-1 is the one Casus Belli. And after that, you're looking at 4-1 about the 8, Lightning Storm. How are you going to play race 2?
I'm confident in bankering Bad Medicine in the place accumulator. You can see on the Serrano run, he holds Santiago's Pride quite convincingly. And then on the Serrano run, he holds Cassis Bella quite convincingly. Cassis Bella is less exposed, but in that race over 1800, Cassis Bella was traveling too hard. He needs to relax because they're stepping up an extra 200 meters. Had a look at his breeding. Who trained his dam? Was it Roy Magna?
It was definitely Sadlier horse. It was Sadlier colors. I think it was Roy Magna. Yeah, it was Roy Magna. And Gerald Sadlier, I do believe, owned it.
Okay.
Remember the colors of, what is that, Olivia's Way?
Okay.
Same owner.
But he's more bred along sprinting line, so I've got my doubts that he's been stepped up in trip. You know, Bad Medicine was meant to run recently.
Yes, it was scratched.
I don't know if he was scratched with this race in mind. I'm not too sure, but I think he's shown enough to hopefully get it right. So I'll be very surprised and disappointed if he misses the top two, because I did opt to bank him in my bar pot too. So yes, a bank number 6, Bad Medicine in the place accumulator.
Yes, and of course the horse that beat it ran a decent run.
Yes.
That is Poster Maiden in a competitive field. There is Bad Medicine, the banker, and there's a banker in the third leg as well. And that will be also another 6 in race number 4, that being Coco Melon, who's done very well in features as a 3-year-old. And then at the back, number 7 is a banker, and that is Phantom Express. The outlay, 120 Rand. Well, Sunday proved to be quite a day as far as racing at Turpentine. It was very competitive. Not the biggest of fields, but what you lacked in quantity, you had in quality, and also 1 or 2 upsets. But it's horses that, in their own right, once upon a time were expected to win such races, and some of them remembered what they had forgotten. But we're talking about the pick 6 at the Vaal, and of course that is off at 13:07. Hopefully you've still got some funds. If you haven't got funds, or you've suddenly decided you're going to get involved on Tuesday, let's get that blue voucher up and running. Just go to your local dealership, and they will be able to serve it to you, and you'll be able to pin in your code literally as they give it to you. You pin it in, and by the time you get to where you want to be sitting to put your pick 6 on, it's up and running. Let's get that betting up and running for the pick 6. And in race number 3, it is a Ameritrade at 16.9, a lowly handicap. But it's not just fillies and mares, so that's one consolation. But Striker, he's back in town and hoping to repeat his feat on Flag Bearer, is at 22-10. The 3, Chris Piculo, seems to be coming back to form, 5-1, along with the 7 Future Wolf. That is also at 5-1, 11-2, and better bar those. Ryan Munger on the 7 Future Wolf. I see once upon a time he rode it regularly, 3 times for 2 seconds and a third. And of course, the way he's riding right now, he will get to the bottom of Future Wolf.
Yes, he's riding extremely well, Ryan. Always rated him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cecil, obviously Striker reunites with Flag Bearer. We saw in his penultimate start, well timed, timed to perfection. One with a bit in hand in my mind, tad cozily towards the end. Followed that up with a decent enough effort over 2,400 meters, excuse me, beaten 3 odd lengths by Romeo's Magic.
Yeah.
But I'm of the opinion he doesn't quite get 2,400. Although he's a one-pace sorter, all his runs over that sort of distance have really flattered to deceive. So I think he's better over this sort of trip. I'll give him a strong winning chance, because Striker hopefully can ride him very similar and the race can pan out for him. The horse I backed him up with had a run recently, and that's number 8, Carnelo. Ran second, a very nice effort behind the filly, Destiny of Fire. Take note, his rating since then has increased. From a 56, he's now running off a 60, but because the weights have been published prior to that run, and he didn't win, he races off a 56. So he comes into this race 2 kilograms well in. I know 3 runs back behind Flag Bearer is held, but he meets Flag Bearer 2 kgs better off, and on that occasion, he was pulling, he was tugging, because he wasn't quite in front relaxed. So I'm hoping he gets to the front. I believe he settles more relaxed up front, and if that's the case, I think he can challenge for top honors. So yes, 5 from 8 in that order.
Just 5 from 8 in that first leg of the pick 6. There's the field in the third leg, and then there's just a couple of horses at the back. PA Bank at the 7 Phantom Express, but you do add the 4 Quasicat to the equation as far as the pick 6 is concerned. 1,440 Rand, that is the total outlay. Don't forget, if you've got that blue voucher and you've got on, it is a case of just hoping to stand in the queue at the end of racing. We now move on to jackpots. I know yesterday the exotics paid very well. The first jackpot paid in the region of 24,000. That was just the first jackpot on the afternoon. Now let's hope likewise racing at the Vaal is kinder to those who are adventurous, or if you are a favorite follower, we get back to some kind of normality. Now, as far as the favoritism in race number 4 is concerned, this is on a Monday morning, and we're looking at one of the bankers in our PA, Coco Melon, as the favorite in race number 4. That is Sean Terry, hoping to follow up on a good win by one of his charges yesterday. That is Coco Melon at 2-1. Muzieni gets a ride. The ultra consistent 4, Suter, That is Gavin Arena retaining the right. He's ridden the horse on all 4 occasions. Well, he's ridden the horse 4 out of 7 times, and that is at 22 to 10. 5 to 1 and better bar those, Mr. Marie. By the way, comme si, comme ça, yes, Roy Magna did train, but it was in the colours of the late Mr. Kevin Sol.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing that up, Cess. So, yeah, Cocomelon, you can see on paper she's held by Frozen Fantasy, who I see Cabela has chosen to ride over his stable, Dynamo, which I find interesting. But yeah, on that run in the Fillies Mile Beyond World of Alice, she's as much as 6 kgs better off with Frozen Fantasy. So she should go close to reversing that form or finish very close to each other. Don't think much will separate them. Then last time out in the Betway, Mother Russia, she was hopelessly out at the weights and she ran above her rating. But because of the rules for that race, she could only pick up a maximum penalty of £3. So she's running off a mark where is lower than her actual rating. She comes into this race well weighted. So I give Cocomelon a strong chance, stepping back up to a mile. In saying that, Frozen Fantasy is not without a chance here. Cracking run in the Fillies Mile. Then last time out, over the 1800 on a soft track, she was never in contention. Maybe that was a stretch for her. I like her when she's a bit closer to the pace, and I think she will show this time around that was a flat run on her behalf and that she's better than that effort. You can't discount Suiter's chances. She's on the upgrade. She obviously has benefited from some time off the track with that rest. Last time out, she was never in doubt, and we saw Destiny of Fire frank that form. I'm also of the opinion that she's better over a mile. So if Stallgate 1 having a cherry or a peak run, a lot is in her favor. But all I'm saying is if Cocomelon reproduces her latest effort, she should go very close to winning. But I do have healthy respect for numbers 3 and 4.
Nothing for Striker? Well, let's see what happens there. As you say, he's quite busy. 3, 4, and 6, we like that. And a reasonable outlay of just 360 Rand. Hopefully we do survive that first and the third legs, and we should be in the queue. We now get into the second and final jackpot of the vaal. That should be off at 2:15 with the running of race number 5 of Fillies and Mares 77 over the mile. And again, a decent sized field, 12 runners to face up. And what do we have as far as the betting is concerned? A reason made one of the 5, Gimme Passion. That is at 3 to 1. 9 to 2 is the 8 sneak previews. So the Lucky Udalagas at the top 2 in the betting. And then the Lucky Udalagas stable, rather, at the top 2 in the betting. Number 2, Boom Boom, is at 11 to 2, as are numbers the 7 Secret Recipe, the 10 Pretty Analia. They're all at 11 to 2, numbers 2, 7, and 10. So 3 to 1, Give Me a Passion, straight out of those maidens. Form line keeps popping up. Quite a few horses have come out of that, or they came out of a rare form that maybe will hold up in time to come.
Yeah, I found Diego's comments in the winning interview very interesting because he said this filly's, if I'm not mistaken, he said she doesn't quite have her mind on the job.
I remember. I think I did the interview myself. Yeah.
Yeah, she wasn't putting her mind on it. So maybe that's because she had nothing to follow in the straight. They all fell back on her and she was exposed early. I'm not too sure. And she was very green and unsure up front. But I think there's no doubt there's still more to come. You can't totally ignore chances because you've got doubts of the form line or this, that, and the other. What I'm saying is she's extremely lightly raced and she's got more to offer. She's well bred. I mean, she's a full sister to second base.
Yeah.
So let's see how she goes. I'll give her a chance in this sort of lineup. As do I with many others. Pretty Anela is in good form. I thought she was a bit unlucky on the rail last time out. When Louis switched her out, she was making steady ground on the winner. Honourable Member is back on the high fault. I thought that was a nice effort behind Miss Leah, and I thought it was a nice effort behind Hattrick or Treat, because Hattrick or Treat's a gelding, if I'm not mistaken, that was in open company. The horse that ran second in that race was a horse called Kutsu, who's also not a bad sort whatsoever. So if she can come back to form, put a line through a later start when she traveled. I think she could be a factor, yeah. Yeah, you can see my jackpot, my pick 6, I went field, so I am looking for an outsider to get it right. What I do want to say is Strikers sat on a place in the sun's back twice, and he's won on both occasions. I know this filly's probably, or mare's looking for further, but if they go very quick up front and she gets into a good position, I wouldn't be surprised in this sort of lineup that she can contest the finish. Yeah, but like I said, I'm looking for a result.
A result is what we need. It's not law. When you do go for the field, the favourite comes through, but let us hope it's the other way on Tuesday. All right, now we're talking about the last chance to get involved in a pick 3 on a Tuesday. This will be with the running of a Ameritrade 80 handicap. It's over the 14 or 50, and we've lost. The only scratching that has come through at this stage is the 11 Legendary after winning its maiden recently. That leaves the field of a 10, and topping the boards is a one-time race and a fluent winner at that who beat Legendary when winning its maiden. That is number 2 Royal Air Force in the colours of the ASSM off a feature win on a Sunday. That is at 17 to 10. The 5 Palace Dancer is at 15 to 4. The 1 Potberry is 9 to 2 rather. It's 13 to 2 and better by those. Horse that seems to surprise a lot of people since it won its maiden, the consistency that it seems to show is the Potberry.
Yeah. You know, it could be since he's been gelded, his form has been really good, and since he's been stepped up in trip, you know, earlier in his career, it was over sprint distances with the blinkers. Then Mr. Gray gelded him and tried him over 7 furlongs. It's worked a treat. What I do want to say is he raced in the Betway, got the green light stakes last time out. Remember, those 2 features were postponed to a week later.
Yes,
and it was the same race where Coco Melon ran in that day. When she ran in the Mother Rushes. The same conditions or rules or whatever you want to call it, Cecil, applied in the Betway got the green light stakes because placed runners could only get a maximum penalty of £3. And Potberry, you can see rating went up from a 92 to a 95, but he ran well above that. Of that, there's no doubt. If you recall in that race, he ran against Greatrix, Fire Attack, Cosmic Speed, and the Specialist. All of those horses are well into the 100, if not 110 plus. So Cosmic Speed, who he finished alongside, if you work it out, he was as much as 10 kilograms out with Cosmic Speed. So if he reproduces a similar effort, he should go very close to winning this. Then again, he's taking on Royal Force, who could be anything.
I said Royal Air Force. I don't know why I'm thinking of the...
Royal Air Force, I remember.
Royal
that
Force.
Was Jeff Woodruff, eh?
Yeah.
Royal Air Force.
Yeah.
Now, Royal Force, how impressive was he on debut? And the further he went, the easier he was going to win on that occasion. I mean, he was putting lengths between himself and the opposition in the latter stages, and that was over 1,200. Over 1,450, he would have won by a steeplechase margin. If you recall in the interview, Gavin came back and he said, this horse gave me a lovely feel. He gave me a feel of a miler, 1,800 meter horse. Then Clyde Basil asked Lucky Larkus, were you impressed? He says, I was very impressed and very excited. Towards the end of the interview, Clyde Basil asked Lucky, could this be a potential Gauteng Guineas horse? And Lucky never said no. So I think they've got high expectations for the son of Heavenly Blue, and he could be better than his current mark because he's stepping up in trip, and that has to be a positive for him. We all know his sire won the Derby over 2,400 meters, and his dam won twice over a mile. So this is going to be a great race. I think numbers 1 and 2 should dominate, but you know what? There's no slouches in this race. You got Can You Dance, you got Palace Dancer. So let's see how it goes. Cecil, I've focused on numbers 1 and 2 though.
The man has said it all and comprehensively so. That is the pick 3 that he suggested, 1 and 2, and then it's horses in that penultimate leg, and then just the 4 and 7, as was the case with the pick 6. Right, now we're talking of the last chance to get involved in a double, the penultimate event of the afternoon, and it's of course our cover girl who is the favorite in race number 7. That is for Johan Janssen van Vuren, and Chase Mojan, and not Gavin, but Chase Mojan. This is a 3-year-old daughter of VAL, goes by the name of Cosmic Queen, and that is at 22-10. Number 4 is at 9-2. That is Alec Laird's Charge Forever in My Dreams. Number 10, Kia Kaha, 6-1. Number 2, Night Vigil, is at 7-1. It's 10-1, and better bar those. Just looking at the names, may not be names that would grace the Cape Flying Championship at the moment, but certainly competitive.
Lovely race.
Yeah.
Let's touch on Cosmic Queen. You can see on debut she ran second behind Poblano. Recently, Poblano came out and ran second to Almond Sea in the Betway Swallow Stakes. Last time out, never in doubt, put her opposition firmly in place. Could be anything. Lovely filly. I don't think Gavin could quite get down to 54.5. What do you think?
I am not too sure, but I mean, the amount of traveling and so forth that they have been doing, I guess it would be an extra burden on it.
Yeah.
Because they are putting in mileage. Huh?
For grade ones, it's a different story. They got
big
a couple of
there.
weeks in advance. And
also the big character there.
yeah, this is a lovely race. I mean, we saw Night Vigil get the better of Forever in My Dreams and Kia Car last time out. Now, yes, the other two are better off at the weights. But in saying that, Mr. Pettigrews had more time to figure out Night Vigil. So I wouldn't be completely surprised if she confirmed that form. Then we have to touch on Forever in My Dream. She's having her peak run. It's going to be interesting. She looks ready to win again. Kindred Heart. He has a filly who comes to the races very, very
By the
fit.
way, an important jockey change. Ryan Munger
Yes,
is to ride the
Ryan
Kindred
Munger
Heart.
aboard. And have a look at her rating. It's come down from a 95 to an 89. I think we're going to see her go close. I like her chances.
Okay.
That wasn't a bad field last time out, when the Asmen's filly won.
Just the two of us.
Yes, let me just pull up that form line. In that race was Yamadori, Karangatang, Johnny Appleseed. It was in open company. I thought that was a fair effort. Drawn on the right side. I think Kindred Heart will finish in the money, and that's my suggested bet. And then you got Kia Car, got into the race very late last time out. Let's see how she goes. She's only got 52 to shoulder and she's drawn on the right side. Let's hope she shows a bit more pace this time round. So very, very competitive lineup. I'm suggesting Kindred Heart to finish in the money.
Kindred Heart, certainly, and a damp one as soon as this show has been aired, because at 12-1 you can't get hurt whatsoever. That is the 7, bidding for win number 2 from 14 out in the colours of the AWSM. Chance ride Ryan Munger for the Crawford Stable. All right, so we come to the lucky last, so race number 8, the next VAL meeting. As mentioned, it is a double-header VAL Classic Track meetings this week. That is a Tuesday tomorrow and a Thursday that follows. That is the 30th of Jan, our last VAL meeting for January. Can't believe that January is already away from us. Right, let's talk about the betting before we get to the thoughts of Mr. Marie. In race number 8, we've got a jockey change once again, an important jockey change. Ryan Munger is to picking up the ride on the recent maiden winner of the 3 Flight of a Condo in the colours of the Andrades and the Gaskells. And we're looking at Ryan Munger picking up the ride there from trainer Diane Stenger. The 7 is your favourite though, Phantom Express, and that is at 5-2. Number 4, Quasi Cat, is at 4-1. The 6, Saralina, is at 11-2, 7-1. Number 5, Ile d'Orange, it is 10s and better bar those. Well, as Sod's Law would have it, Manny Pendram, after saddling his first winner, as such, a black type winner, unfortunately has to wait to see if he's got the verdict or not, because there was that objection that was quite lengthy. And by the time we did find the space, and then there's all sorts of things happening. So I said to him on Tuesday, I'm sure we'll talk about it when he has a winner.
And then
Give it a chance.
And then Trent fell. Is that why?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Because now we had the gap, but you couldn't really work out when you're going to have a chance to do it. Yeah. Anyway, Adelina, any chance? Loves the VAL.
Yeah, she must have a chance.
But that's a straight course, huh?
I think she comes with her issues because she's extremely lightly raced. Being a 6-year-old mare. I mean, she's only having her 10th start. Apprentice, blinkers go on, tongue tie goes on, drawn 1. Let's see how it pans out. I wouldn't be shocked to see her win. Yeah, I'm focusing on Mr. Matchett over here. You know, Mr. Matchett did us a huge favor in the last race with 2 miles west. We're relying on him again into the last race again. Phantom Express. You know, they interview Sarah Clark for Track Talk, and he says this is a lovely, big, strong filly. And I think the fact that she's had some racing recently, she's now peak racing fitness. Last time out, she had the worst of the draws to contend with. She was drawn 1 up the straight. She wasn't beaten for speed. Gavin looked for some cover. She got it, and she stayed on slightly towards the latter stages. This time round, he's drawn on the right side. Nero on that occasion was drawn up hard up against the outside running rail, and let's hope that Phantom Express, drawn hard up against the outside running rail, shows that pace necessary and can fend them off. I thought that was a lovely effort on her behalf. And I really believe she's off a very competitive mark. I think she's going to go close to winning. I believe her danger is Quasicat, but on a line through Dancing Dora, I believe she's held. She comes back to 1,000. I know she won over 1,000 meters, but I think she might prove better over further in time to come. All depends how far she is off them going into that final furlong, if she can get there in time. I do believe she'll be finishing faster, but I think Phantom Express, from what I saw last time out, will take some beating. So I'm going in order 7 from 4, but I'm suggesting a win bet on number 7.
Win bet on number 7, and of course it is the 1,000 meters, so we'll be down the straight for that last race. Will be all about where is the going on Tuesday.